Hey, welcome to Cleaning Company Blueprint. My name's Kevin, and I'm here with Vic. And today we're going to be talking about avoiding burnout with your cleaning company.
Mhm. Man, it is so real. Burnout is so real.
It's
What have you heard?
actually why I sold my cleaning company. Uh,
Really?
yeah, well, what one of them? I was just kind of, you know, I was so in the day to day, and I was just thinking to myself, being on a beach in Costa Rica sounds really, really nice. And that thought was just growing and growing more of my head. And back then, the idea of being like a digital nomad wasn't really a thing.
Yeah.
And so I was just like, the solution to my problems would be selling my company and then just taking a couple months off. I was like an entrepreneur for a while, and I was just kind of just needed a break from everything, a reset. And at the time, that was kind of more important to me than anything.
How old were you at that time?
I think I was 23 or 24.
Mhm.
So I do regret selling my cleaning company.
Mm.
But I think at the time it was just something I needed to do. Yeah.
Yeah, and it probably felt like a lot of money in your pocket and just
Yeah.
freedom.
Yeah. I mean, that was like, I was like, man, I could like travel for a year
Totally.
and just like live like a king. And that, again, I was young,
Yeah. You didn't have any
and
kids, you didn't
exactly.
have a house yet. Yeah,
Yeah.
you could yeah. But that's one way to avoid burnout.
Yeah.
Peace out.
Yeah.
My burnout has come from running other people's companies and feeling as though I didn't own my own time. And
Mm,
so to avoid burnout with this particular company, I will go to yoga. Jen tells me I should stop talking about this on the channel because I talk about it too much. I'm that annoying yoga person. But here's what happens when I get out of yoga. I take a booking, like while I'm practicing. And you've said it to me before, and this is where your voice is in my head, where you're like, don't you feel like you should practice more yoga then? Because you are making more money by going to yoga.
right.
And I always think about it because I'm always like, yeah, okay, because there's days where it's really busy. And we run our company without virtual assistants now, because I made the mistake of listening to the wrong people and feeling like I didn't want to do the mundane nitty gritty stuff in the day and that it was overwhelming. And so I would pass that off to virtual assistants. And bless their heart, they were great people, but I lost control of our company in a way, and I ended up creating more work for myself. I'm getting a booking. And I ended up making more work for myself that I didn't need to make. And actually, what I needed to do was just really fine tune our systems, focus on my mental health and my physical health, and reduce how much extra work I was doing.
Mhm.
I was reinventing the wheel. I was creating work for myself. None of it I needed to do. And so
Yeah.
now it's just like focus on recurring clients. One-time clients are one-time clients. That's what they are. New cleaners need their hands held in the beginning. So anticipate that that's what they need and don't get annoyed that that's what they need. And I no longer answer every phone call. So you just witnessed that. Like a phone call was just coming in and I could have stopped, but instead, I'm going to rely on our system, which is in place, that will tell them, hey, I'm busy right now. Please book online. Here's our frequently asked questions. As soon as I finish talking to you, I will phone this person back. But I don't let it interrupt my flow anymore.
Yeah, I think that's really important because if we think about what burnout really is,
Mm,
it's like a symptom of neglecting either yourself or your time or
yeah.
or something, right? So it's the
Yeah.
feeling of, hey, I can't continue this way.
Yeah.
So practically, I think it's important that we spend something like an hour a day, whatever it is. You could be meditating or praying,
Anything.
watching the news for an hour in the morning while you drink coffee, like whatever it is, right?
Play an
Going on.
Elden Ring, like whatever you got to do.
Yeah, as I think it is important that you're definitely away from your, phone, or you have notifications off. You're
Yeah.
not looking at emails. You do need that time where you can just like get away from that kind of stuff. And then occasionally, like I'm somebody that like I have to go out and like go camping or something. I just have
Mm.
to like, disconnect for a bit,
You
whatever
do a
it
big
is.
fishing trip once a year where you just go
Yeah.
off by yourself to
Yeah, or go hiking for backpacking for a couple of nights, whatever it is, right? Like I
Mhm.
just need to recharge that way. I live in the mountains, but still I need to go camping.
I got
Uh,
it. Yeah, because it's
No,
about
so
being off screen and it's about
yeah,
not talking to human beings.
yeah,
That's really what it's about.
yeah.
Because
Or
your job, my job.
some people have to go to a concert and be around a bunch of people,
Yeah,
right? Whatever
weird.
your
Yeah,
thing is, but you have to have
yeah,
that thing. Otherwise, you will just get burned out and
yeah.
shut down, and then you just kind of lose a lot of motivation to want to work. But yeah, whenever I do a trip or wherever I go, um, business is always better when I come back.
Right?
Sometimes when I leave, it's always better for the company.
Like,
And then I feel recharged. And for me, like when I go camping or hiking or whatever, it's a way for me to like come up with ideas immediately
mm,
about the company that I lose a lot of creativity
yeah.
when I'm answering emails all day and doing calls and doing all that. Like your mind has to have some time to like let go for things to come back to it.
And on that point, actually, in terms of like emails and phone calls and just the stuff you have to do in your day, I follow a guy called Nir Ewald, and he wrote a book called Hooked and another book called Indistractable. And Indistractable for me has totally changed my life because it's about living in a world today where you have a million distractions.
Mhm.
And what Nir says is you need to look at what happens right before the distraction. So, right before you pick up your phone to look at Instagram, what is the feeling you're having right before? And it's usually going to be boredom or stress or anxiety or depression, or it's actually those things that we need to deal with rather than allowing the distractions to pull us away from what we're working on. And he's not saying get rid of Instagram. He's saying no, 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 everything's a great tool, but just understand that it's a tool and that you can block off time for that tool. And so I've started doing what he calls time boxing, which means I have an hour in the morning that's set aside for communication. So that'll be emailing, texting, calling all the clients, and that all fits in that 1 hour. Running a cleaning company, you do need to be available all day. So if your cleaners are out, you need to be available for those cleaners and you need to anticipate what they're going to need from you. So right before going into a yoga class, I will look at my phone and I'll pull up Convert Labs, which is the software I use that Kevin created. And I will see, okay, do I have any cleaners going out to a new client? Because that's when they need me. They don't need me for the recurring client. They already know the house. They already know the client. They know the phone number. They know how to get access. They're fine. But any new clients, if I'm about to be unavailable for an hour, I always text that cleaner right beforehand saying, "Hey, heads up, I'm not going to be available. You have all the information you need. You have their phone number. You have this. You have that. Go get it. But if you do need me, I'll be available in an hour." And that's just like anticipating where the problems will come up. And that comes with time and experience. But that's what helps me to avoid basic burnout. Because otherwise, I could be available 24/7. And I do see some cleaning companies do this where they've set it so that they're available 24/7 on Google. I'm like, man, I don't want phone calls at 3 a.m. I'm a 9 to 5 girl. Like, set those hours for a reason. But then within that time, I still block off the time. And then, yeah, going on vacation, going on holidays, and for your cleaners to also go on vacation and go on holidays because they also burn out.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. If anything, I would argue it's just as important. I wouldn't say it's more important, but it's just as important to make sure that your cleaners aren't doing 3, 4, 5 jobs a day because that only leads to burnout.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Thanks, Kevin.
Cool. Thank you.
Let's not get burnt out. And for anyone watching, please give us your tips and tricks below. We would love to hear from you. We are so excited you're here. So subscribe, like, comment, all of the things. If you want to try out Convert Labs, there's a link below. That link gives you 30 days for free. And then you can join the community and meet all of us. So please do check it out.
Thanks, guys.